Meat and dairy production account for 14.5% of the global greenhouse gas emissions, according to the UN's Food and Agricultural Organization. Furthermore, a meat eater's diet requires 17 times more land, 14 times more water, and 10 times more energy than a vegetarian's, according to the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. Nevertheless, we feel like there is still a big bias in society towards vegan food, although it can be just as tasty as any other meal. That's why our group, the Internationals, started the project BEgin Vegan for the Men and Environment course at Chulalongkorn University. We established a food booth on October 31st and sold a tasty vegan dish for non-profit purposes, while simultaneously educating our buyers about our purpose, but more on that later. We had two main objectives. First of all, we wanted to convince more people to actively switch to a vegan option for lunch. Second of all, our goal was to educate more people about the negative environmental impacts of meat and dairy consumption. The meatless selection at the cafeteria and the Mahit building is very limited. But during the Chinese J Festival, one booth became almost entirely vegetarian. We wanted to know how this change affected their demand during that week and interviewed the owner. She told us that the event had increased the sales of both vegetarian and non-vegetarian food. But they went back to their usual omnivore menu afterwards because they thought that the demand for vegetarian meals would be lower after J Festival. That gave us the opportunity to try to prove to them that there is a high demand for vegetarian food, even after J Festival. We prepared an online survey for our customers to answer after buying the meal, to find out how they feel about vegan food and let them support our initiative to convince the cafeteria to include more vegan-friendly dishes. And as an incentive to participate in the survey, they also had the chance to win a prize. Lastly, before the big day, we contacted the Thai Root the Future organization, where experts in the vegan food industry work, to get some insights on how to approach educational conversations with our customers. We learned that we did not want to raise too controversial topics to make our buyers feel bad, but rather highlight the positive aspects of vegan switches without forcing a radical change in their diet. Furthermore, we collected facts about veganism and Meatless Mondays to enhance our personal knowledge and communicate it to others. Falafel wraps seem to be the perfect choice of food, because they are cheap but tasty, healthy, easy to prepare, and can be almost zero-waste street food. However, although the recipe was not too demanding, it took our team almost an entire day to set everything up, because our goal was to sell 50 wraps, each including 2 falafels. It was a long process, but we are very proud of our success. We were able to talk to many interested students and meanwhile had a lot of fun. We sold 43 wet wraps, while 28 students participated in our survey. To be sure to reach the break-even point, we had a profit of 200 baht that we used to reward a winner from the survey with a voucher for the Veganery restaurant in Bangkok. So what are our results? Apart from the fact that the vast majority enjoyed the wraps, only half of them were aware that they were vegan. That wow effect was what we were trying to create by not labeling our event as vegan, because the survey also showed that some people would have maybe been more hesitant to buy from us then. In addition to this, almost all of them strongly supported the idea that our cafeteria should include more vegan-friendly lunch options. With that new data and some help from our Thai friends as translators, we approached multiple food stands at the cafeteria again. Their reactions were as followed. Thank you. We already have a few vegan meals, but are planning to introduce even more options in the future. We sell chicken and our demand is high. The other booths should do that if they want to. We don't need it. When we opened the booth, we had a few vegetarian options, but the demand was very inconsistent and we had to often throw the rest away. We don't include it in the menu anymore, but sometimes people still ask for it. It is a nice survey, but from experience we're hesitant to bring vegetarian food back. Since we didn't expect to completely revolutionize the entire cafeteria, we still think that, especially the first answer, is a somewhat decent result. The more important finding is that there are still so many people who doubt how tasty vegan food can be, and how many ecological, ethical, and health advantages it brings. So, on an end note, we want to thank everyone who bought falafels from us, responded to the survey, the cafeteria staff, and Root the Future who gave us interviews, as well as the course teachers for their help and support on the project. Our project reached only a small proportion of all Chula students, but every single one of us can keep spreading the word and implement Meatless Mondays and more vegan food in Thailand. Thank you very much for listening.